Certainly, Nathan, a 3-0 lead in the series is something that was somewhat unthinkable going into the series, knowing that Florida was the Stanley Cup champions. But fans that I've been talking to today have been talking about confidence in this team because of what they saw in games 1 and 2. Now, going back to game 2, we've got some footage of what we saw there. What they were particularly talking about is how the team had this ability to fight back. Now, we know Toronto gave up the first goal. We know Toronto gave up the second goal in the game, but they kept fighting back and then pushing beyond, going up 3-2. And then when they gave up a tying goal in the third period, just seconds later, Mitch Marner scoring the winning goal, the team hanging on from there, Joseph Woll shutting the door, and that seemed like a real statement game for many of the fans that I spoke to today. Some of them saying that they have more confidence now in the team than they've had in years past. And one particular fan I spoke to this morning from Scotland, Fiona Blake, says she couldn't be more excited about the playoffs. Here's what she had to say.
I think we expect a different type of game. I think Florida are going to bring it back. They've got their home crowd down there. However, having said that, there is a lot of Leafs folk going down. I would imagine there's going to be a lot of blue in that arena. So as long as the folk that go down there are loud and proud and bring that passion, I reckon that they're going to get behind the boys. And I think we are going to give Florida a shock tonight.
The way we've responded every game has made me a lot more confident in this team, where before when we go down, we kind of like hang our heads and be sad about things, whereas like we're fighting back every time, and I'm no longer scared about being down a goal or anything like that. So I've just had more confidence going into every game.
Game 1, big confidence boost. Game 2, I was almost expecting, a loss going into Florida 1-1, but showing that they won really kind of changed how I feel about the team and how I feel about them going into the rest of the series and the rest of the playoffs. So I'm feeling pretty good about them now.
So we talk about the goaltending tandem the Leafs have. Well, looking behind me, Johnny Bower and Turk Broda, two of the greatest goalies the Leafs have ever had. Joseph Woll and Anthony Stolarz aren't quite there, but the fans have been very excited how after Stolarz went down, Woll has stepped in, making big saves in the third period, and one particularly large save near the end of the third period that seemed to seal it for the Leafs. We'll see what happens in Game 3 right here in the Square. We know is going to be crazy, and we'll be here reporting live. I'm Sean Leathong. Nathan Michelle, send it back to you.